Hello, everybody watching us live out there on YouTube and also on twitch.tv/Vince Russo Live. I hope everybody is doing well today. I am here with the one, the only, the great Billy Botti. Billy, what is going on, my friend?
Lots going on this week. It's been one of those weeks where you wonder why you bother with this social media stuff. Because I have my platform, I have your platform, I have a listenership and a following, and I don't really need to be on there to deal with people like Ryan Satin and whatnot. But as I said, I have my platform, and this is it. So if anybody wants to listen in and get the latest news, and I always stick to my opinion, and my opinion isn't designed by what everybody else wants to hear, then you know where I'll be.
Well, Billy, hold on, though, bro. Hold on. Let's not jump the gun, because according to a lot of people, bro, according to a lot of people out there, Billy, you are not going to have this platform for long, bro.
Yeah, I saw that.
I've been warned. I'm gonna smarten up to you. People are telling me, and who knows, Billy? Maybe it's only a matter of time, bro.
I said that to them in terms of saying that this platform represents the free speech, and providing I've never ever gone down lines of race and homophobia, and I still firmly believe that that's what you need to stick to. If you don't cross those lines, then you should be able to say whatever you want to say. And this week there was a whole situation around a joke that I still find funny that managed to kick it all off. But that's the thing, the censorship and the cancel culture has got to the point where it's just ridiculous. There's no filter within people to say I'm on the complete opposite scale. I'm at the point where we're in 2020 and we have God knows how many TV channels and streaming services. And what I would do instead is I would air everything instead of canceling shows that we used to love. And my friend talks about it. There's a show that he liked in the US, Married with Children or something, where he said that's you can't no longer find that. And there's various things. We're banning like Only Fools and Horses over here, which is a famous English show. Faulty Towers, all that kind of stuff is very, very hard to find. And I don't understand why it's not a case of it's all on. It's all on. Even stuff like hardcore pornography, for example. You should be able to put that on a late night on TV, put it on a channel, and if that's your cup of tea, then you should be able to find it. We have all the options to put everything on. And we also have the option to turn around and say, hey, I don't like this product. I don't like this show. I don't like this guy. I won't listen to his show, or I won't watch that TV show. I don't understand why it doesn't come to that. If it's not for you, don't watch. But instead, it has to be cancel culture. We're going on the internet, not me, but a lot of people are going on the internet looking to be offended. Ryan Shitstain wakes up every morning, I assure you, scrolls through the internet, scrolls through everybody's tweets, watches the product, and is looking to get offended. I am not offended by anything whatsoever. And if I was, I just wouldn't watch that particular thing. But I don't understand how it's reached a point where we've all become these old women that used to write in about Howard Stern to try and get him off the air. Like everybody's become an old, whiny 60-year-old woman instead of just getting on with their lives. If there's something that genuinely offends you, why do you need to watch it? I don't understand this whole complaint and cancer culture. And maybe it's got to the point where I've reached that point where I'm too old and this has outgrown me. And maybe I'm now the person that says, oh, back in my day, everything was fine. And back in my day, we used to have shows that did this. And back in my day, Eddie Murphy used to do stand-up comedy where he could say whatever he wanted about whoever he wanted to. And all of a sudden, I'm that person now who's been passed by, and my sensitivity levels haven't caught up with how everybody wants to be now.
Yeah, Billy, it's amazing, man. I know I couldn't believe I was reading this past week, and I know you're a Seinfeld guy like me. I know you enjoy your Seinfeld. Bro, I was reading something this week where they are actually talking about literally deleting the Soup Nazi episode, bro, because it's offensive. And I'm like, man, well, like when does this stop? I mean, bro, come on. I've been watching Jerry Seinfeld for God knows how long, since way before Seinfeld. Bro, if you know anything about Jerry Seinfeld and what kind of a guy this guy is, man, and you're going to erase one of the greatest episodes in television history, like, for what? Billy, I don't get it. And Billy's saying that the world has passed you by, and you're the old guy saying, in my day. No, Billy, it's about freedom of speech. You and I could be sitting here, bro. I'm 60. I could be 80. It doesn't matter, bro. It's the freedom of speech. You have your own mind. You have your own thoughts. You have your own opinion. You should be free to say what you want to say. Now, when people like you, Billy, and, Satin did the same thing to me, okay? When you're getting silenced, and literally it is somebody putting a piece of duct tape over your mouth saying, shut the F up. When you're being silenced, people have to be intelligent enough to ask the question, why? Why is this guy's view? Why is this guy's opinion? Why is this guy so offensive? What is this guy saying that you're not allowing me to hear? People have to smarten up, Billy. I think they are. But, like you said, bro, over this past week, we see how simple it is to just cancel somebody's voice.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, my previous Twitter account was a verified account with 80,000 people, and he came after that over the whole women's wrestling thing. And originally I was, it was pretty clear that it was the case of the two verified people on Twitter, and he was going to try and get rid of the other journalists. I don't understand what the need for that was. Like I said, he's completely different to me. He looks to be offended. He's a modern day representation of the biggest problem that we have out there. If there was a symbol of what's wrong, it's him. It's the fact that he goes on there. And the thing is, even the other day, in terms of when I apparently insulted his girlfriend, whose father died, that's fine. I didn't say anything about it. I realized that the guy died 3 weeks ago, but she was going on and on and on and on and on and on about it on social media. I don't care if you grieve, and I don't care if you grieve for years. If you have that kind of relationship, you can grieve for 5-6 years, but to put it out every single status, fishing for sympathy, fishing for sympathy. And at some point I just turned around and said, her comment was, this Zoom funeral's like the worst thing I've ever had to experience. And to which I ended up putting, I think I said something, I retweeted and said something along the lines of, this girl voluntarily blows Saturn. That's not the most horrible thing that's ever happened to her. So, and you laughed. So
I might have to edit out that. Jeff, you might have to edit out that laugh. I'll be guilty by association.
Right. So,
well, you know what it is. Well, Billy, but hold on. This is part of that group. This is part of the social justice warriors. I hear these fools every week on castrating the marks. This is part of them, Billy. And Billy, this is kind of on you. I'm going to kind of blame you for this. Billy, they have no sense of humor. These people, Billy, can't laugh at anything. They're incapable of having a sense of humor, which tells me, bro, when you're at the point that your life is that miserable that you can't laugh at anything, bro, there's something going on there. So, Billy, you have to know. Talk to me, bro. Let me counsel you now. I'm gonna lay you on my psychiatrist table. Bro, you got to know the ramifications you're going to get from them when you post that. You got to know, bro.
Yeah, I noticed.
You can't help yourself. Was the line that good that you could not help yourself? Billy, be honest with me.
Yeah, it is a case of that. It's a case of like, I then become what I don't want to become when I don't say it. Because it's me. It's funny to me. And when I come on these shows, whereas, we always talk about the WWE and we say it's an audience of one. It's an audience for Vince McMahon is the main guy that you need to please. I'm trying to entertain. Everything I do is to entertain 4 or 5 people in my group chat. There's only 4 or 5 guys that I am close to now that watch wrestling. It's a shame because when I was in college, it was like 100 guys when you were writing. But now it's 4 or 5 guys, and we talk about modern day stuff. We talk about the wrestling, and I always think about that being my audience, and then my audience being an extension of those. These are the people that I'm trying to reach out to, people that watched your product, or people that even people that are in their mid-20s or early 30s that aren't this way inclined, that can go back and watch your product and look at it and say, oh, this used to be so great. Like, what happened to this? And what happened with everything? Why are we trying to cancel Seinfeld? Why are we trying to cancel Friends? Because there's stuff in there where they say that gays are promoted as something to be joked about, and they want to get loads of episodes of Friends out. They say the Joey Tribbiani and Chandler characters are homophobic. So,
well, Billy, hold on though for a second, because it goes a little deeper than that. I want to explain to people watching live on YouTube and people on Twitch, guys, listen, Billy, it goes deeper than that, and it also. It is business, bro. It is your livelihood. You have a little son. You got Austin's toys, okay? Billy, it goes deeper than that. I want everybody to understand, you may not know this, Billy was on Big Brother in the UK. Billy is a celebrity. And the reason why I say that, bro, is when you're on a television show, Billy was, I was, okay? Bro, now you have a brand. Now you have a brand. Now Billy leaves Big Brother. Big Brother's over. Now he's got the Billy brand. And bro, what do people want from that brand? They want Billy to be the guy that he was on TV. So that's what Billy is. That's what Billy builds his brand on. That's what Billy builds his career on. And part of that is being an entertainer. He is an entertainer. So what Billy... You find something funny, a funny thought comes into your head, okay, bro, which, you're serving your brand, you're entertaining your brand. And now, bro, you've got to filter every thought that comes through your mind, bro, because there may be one person out there, bro, Stern. I saw a clip yesterday, and bro, here's the worst thing, Billy. This is what I love about you. Bro, you know what's worse with them canceling you? You know what's worse than that? These freaking weak asses that freaking apologize. That apologize for. Bro, they're bringing up now Stern in 1993. 27 years ago, bro, did a blackface sketch. 27 years ago. And then, bro, these people are going to apologize for shit they did 25, 30 years ago, and it was a different culture, bro. It was a totally different culture. You can't go back and change what you did 30 years ago. But, Billy, that makes it worse when they apologize, and deep down inside they know they're not wrong. That's the part, man, that really pisses me off.
Yep, and that's it. Like, I mean, one thing you touched on there, which is very important. I've had girlfriends before in the past that have commented on, that have looked on my social media and Twitter and Facebook and stuff, and they feel that the person that I represent on there is different to the person that they're sitting next to. And I've often had to give that explanation in terms of, I've been on a TV show, I have a podcast, I have 2 podcasts, and I have to adhere to this in terms of that. If all of a sudden, if the public were getting the Billy that is sitting next to my girlfriends that I've had in the past, then we're not going to have a following and we're not going to have a show. Because the thing is that I'm not saying that I'm a boring person, but everything that you do in terms of these kind of platforms needs to be switched up. You need to have an interesting Twitter account. You need to have engagement. You need to be thinking of things to say. You need to come on this show. I need to have things ready to say. I need to pass these 45 minutes to an hour by and make sure that people want to listen next week. That is the business that we're in. And as far as targeting specific people, you'll notice that I don't target anybody else in terms of, yes, I make comedic comments, or I can be sarcastic and whatnot and call it as I see it. But as far as targeting specific people, Saturn and his girlfriend for me are not out of bounds from what they started. I did build a brand. I did have a verified Twitter account on the basis of Big Brother, nothing to do with the wrestling industry. Yet on the basis of my opinion, he decided to get that account cancelled. I don't care about this current account. It just shows that Ryan Satin hasn't changed at all in 3 years, because as soon as I offended him and his girlfriend, he, instead of acting like a man about it, which he never will, because nothing that I want more to stand face to face with Saturn and see if we can sort out our problems face to face. But I know I'm going to feel the piss running down his leg, and I'll be able to smell the shit in his pants when I stand in front of him. So he's never, ever going to have that confrontation with me. Not in a million years. That's not what he's about. Instead, he's cancel culture. He'll go on and he says, report this account. He offended my girlfriend. He has a girlfriend the main thing I think when I think about her father is that he passed away knowing that his daughter was going to end up with a spineless moron like Ryan Satin. That would have been the worst thing about him dying, is the fact that she's gonna end up with Satin, who's completely spineless. How can you, as a man, defend your girlfriend by saying, please report and get this account deleted? That's what he represents. But at the same time, this is the guy who had me taken off Twitter. This is the guy who sent me this tweet. Oh, Billy, you angry, hateful, transphobic person. I really hope you get what's coming to you one day and you have to face up to this. Posted a picture of my 6-year-old son at the time, went on a Snapchat filter and dressed him up in makeup. So he turned a 6-year-old into a transgender and posted it to me. He brought a 6-year-old into this situation 3 years ago and had me deleted off Twitter. And some people want to tweet me and tell me he's off bounds. Ryan Satin is not off bounds. It will never, ever be over between me and him. And it will just continue on and on and on. And we'll always represent completely opposite things. So you can either stand with me and represent what I represent, which is the freedom of speech and the right to, if you don't like something, don't watch. That's what I'm all about. And he is completely.
You're right, Billy.
Yeah, I've lost you. Sorry, your picture's gone. I thought.
No, I'm here. I see you. I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. Sorry. I was just saying he represents the complete opposite, which is the cancel culture. I don't like it. I'm offended by it. And everybody else needs to be offended by it. And we need to every stuff canceled.
And here's another thing, Billy. Like I'm at the point now, seriously, with these people, bro. Literally, I'm at this point, bro. Take your labels and shove them straight up your ass. I'm at the point now, bro. Call me whatever you want. Whatever term knocks your socks out. Call me whatever you want. I am tired of saying I'm not this and I'm not this, because that's what they freaking do, bro. Because they know the danger of labeling somebody something, and they know nobody wants to be labeled horrible words. They know that, bro. It's a strategy. So what do, bro? They label you, and they'll keep painting you as this label until you say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. How do you want me to think? How do you want me to feel? Whatever you want. Just stop saying that. F you, bro. I'm so sick of these people and their false labels. Shove them up your ass. I'm smart to you. Call me whatever you want, bro. You want to say I'm racist to everybody and everything? Knock yourself out, bro. Call me whatever you want. I know your weak little game. I'm not playing the game anymore. F you, and I will always.
I've seen the same thing about you. I've seen that. I've seen the stuff where Vince Russo's homophobic and Vince Russo's a fake Christian. I've seen it all. It's like and it's exactly the same thing. We're all in the same boat here. Whereas, we come on here and and continue to do the type of journalism that's almost become out of fashion, because we're not looking to be offended by everything. We want something. We tell you what we think, exactly what we think about what we saw, and that's it. But apparently we've become the bad guys, and you're fake, and you're not really true to your faith, and you're homophobic, and I'm homophobic, and I'm transphobic, and we are all of these things apparently, but the evidence just doesn't exist for that. I had a young guy that writes for me over at the Data Sheets when I got this gig, and he turned around to me, and he was critical of you. At which point I actually had to ask him if he'd ever actually watched anything. He went, "No, I've just listened to like loads of podcasts since you gave me this job." And Jim Cornette says that Russo's like a complete fraud, and all of his stuff was. This is one that gets said. Everything. Vince Russo had a whole bag of ideas and just threw all the shit at the wall, and Vince McMahon cleaned everything up. Well, if that was logically true, then why is Vince McMahon's TV doing a 1.9 to a 1.7 right now? And the ratings haven't been anywhere near they were at that point when Russo left. I think the only thing that was fortunate for them is that the guy that took over after you was able to steady the ship. I've forgotten his name now. At one point,
Brian Gerwitz.
Not Gerwitz.
The other guy. Yeah, I hear a lot about that guy. I did not know him, but I hear a lot of positive.
Yeah, the guy that was replaced by Stephanie.
I think the guy that got passed. I think didn't he pass away? I think.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But
but that's the thing. That's the thing. You know, Billy, when you have a counter, that's where like their idiocracy comes out, bro. Vince is homophobic. So somebody said, well, bro, with all due respect, Vince has a transgender on his team. There's a transgender. Like, so how do you explain that? So, bro, you know what the answer to that is all the time? Oh, well, Vince hired a transgender as a cover. He really is homophobic. But if he hires a transgender, people won't. Bro, do you know how effing ridiculous that is? Do you know how insane? Bro, my Christian is fake. My Christianity. Bro, I wrote an entire book that took me over an entire year based around my Christianity. So, Billy, why did I do that? To fool people? Like it's when you look at the logic, it's freaking ridiculous, bro.
And that's the other thing as well, in terms of, I always look at the reasons behind it. Whereas people turn around to me and say, they say stuff, they don't like me for the comments, because they get riled up by these comments. They get riled up by the likes of Saturn and stuff. And then they throw out stuff like going, oh, they're like a fake news site, and they like make up stories and all that. Bro, that would be a miracle for me to have called some of the stuff, for me to out of thin air pick out a few weeks ago Kairi Sane to win the NXT title, for me to come on here just a week ago and tell you exactly how they were going to be moving forward with the waivers, and now the story is out that WWE are making people sign the waivers. How did I come on here and make that? Plus, what's the reason for me doing it? This isn't lining my pockets with gold. I already did a massive TV show. I already got booked to appear around the country. On my new Twitter account at the moment, the pinned tweet simply says that I don't need wrestling, and I don't need wrestling fans. I have a net worth of 1.5 million already. Vince is already living, I imagine, in a huge house in Denver, Colorado. I've seen the houses there, and I'm pretty sure that Vince, through the WWE and through the fact that WCW paid off his contract, he doesn't even need to do this podcast. He doesn't need to do this show. But the fact is that creative people can't sit on their ass.
You're right. Yep.
Sit there and spend their money. The itch needs to be scratched, and all we're doing here is scratching an itch. We don't need this, and we don't need you. I speak for me, and I'm speaking for Vince. And if he wants to correct me, he can. But we don't need this shit. Like, we just do it because we can't just pass the time by doing absolutely nothing. I could do my sports gambling stuff. I could continue on with that. I have enough money saved already, and I have enough money coming in. I don't need wrestling. I don't need this, and I don't need to be doing it. I do it because I enjoy watching it, and I like to give my opinion. I have an ego, and I like to hear the sound of my own voice on a podcast every week. And that's why I do it, but I don't need to do it. And Vince is exactly the same. So why would he write a book that pretends to be something that he's not? We don't have a reason to do it. We don't need money.
Hey, let's put over somebody. Ross Hardy. I know Ross. Ross put over, the guy's name at the WWE was Chris Kresge, and he did pass away in 2006. I want to give credit where credit is due. I didn't know Chris. I hear a ton of good stuff about Chris all the time. Ross, thanks for letting us know. All right, Billy, you got to give us something here. Give me a little bit of something, and then I know you're going to have more over on Chicken Necks. We're going to cut Chicken Necks right after this, russosbrand.com. But you got to give us a little tease right here on Twitch and YouTube. Give me something, bro.
Well, I'll give you a story. The WWE at the moment, there's an edict in place that managers are coming back, and we have seen that on television. So immediately with his rise in his position in the company, Bruce Pritchard pushed for Ric Flair to come in. On the day, on Monday, there was a change made to realign him with Charlotte, which was the original plan. So what we saw was a tape segment of him and Charlotte, and Vince McMahon made the decision that that he wasn't going to realign Ric Flair and Charlotte because he felt like the company had done too much work separating the two. So what we saw at the end, we're recording this on Wednesday. By Saturday, I may actually know more information. I do not know if Ric Flair is now the manager of Randy Orton moving forward, or whether he's going to have any kind of role with that. It looks like that is the switch that's been made. But from my perspective at the moment, what I do know is that Bruce Pritchard did push for Ric Flair to have this role. They're paying him anyway. Ric Flair is on the payroll anyway. Along with Kurt Angle, they got a new contract. As guys already know, they did look for a role for Angle with Matt Riddle. And in the end, Matt Riddle didn't feel like he needed a mouthpiece. And Triple H was able to go and bat for Matt Riddle and convince the company that they did not need Angle as a mouthpiece. But wherever they can, they are looking to shoehorn these managers in. So there may be a role for Ric Flair moving forward. But at the last minute, the call was made that it wouldn't be returning with Charlotte because the company had already.
I got to tell you, and again, bro, people, see if I'm typical, bro, again, dirt sheet writers, Vince Russo, enemy. We hate Vince Russo across the board. Vince Russo could save a building burning and save 1 million puppies, and he's the devil. Bro, two good things here. Because people like, I'm bitter. I'm bitter because I want to be working at the WWE. I want to be on the road. I want to be in that cesspool of politics, so I'm bitter. Two positive things out of here I want to bring up. Number one, Vince is right. No, bro, my God, they really did try to separate Ric Flair and Charlotte. If you go back to the beginning, that was a smart move. Charlotte is a star. Charlotte does not need to be tied to Vince. I agree with that 100%. Number two, Billy, bro, I didn't know about the manager thing. This is the first time I'm hearing this, but now it makes sense. But my God, Billy, who's been stealing the show every Monday night? One of the best performers on the show has been MVP. So,
and Zelina prior to that, both of them.
So, I mean, bro, you know what? Those are two good calls. Listen, I come on here every week and I say, man, there are a lot of kids in the WWE that can't cut freaking promos. So if you could bring in an MVP, if you could, use Selena Vega, bro, that's awesome. So I think those are two wins. Billy, give us a little nugget of what you're going to talk on a bucket of chicken X, just a little nugget so we can get people to that show.
Yeah, I have a little bit more information about the greatest match of all time that happened last Sunday, and a little bit more that went behind that. A little bit more information about how they're moving forward with the live events and if they are or are not. And just generally we'll talk about the week because it's a pay-per-view week, and there was a different feel to Raw this week. Different to the point where people were turning around and saying this was a turnaround and turned the corner and it was one of the best Raws of the year. I think that speaks volumes about how far the product has fallen, that people were viewing that as a turnaround. It's kind of like being fed something horrendous and then all of a sudden you get some sugar on it, and all of a sudden you like the taste of this horrendous thing that you've been eating for this entire period. I certainly don't think it turned the corner, but we'll discuss it on
we will. Now, also, are you going to tease Chicken Necks, russosbrand.com? Are you going to tease, if you're not already a member, people need to sign up, because on that show, you're going to reveal the hair? Are you going to take the hat off for that show so we can see the hair, bro?
Yeah, the hat's usually off most weeks. So, yeah, I'll take the hat off for the show if you prefer. I thought I'd have the Packers hat on this week. I've not. My hair, once I wash it, I'm so short of time today because the English Premier League starts. And I had my head down in research, so this has not been straightened out. So this is actually how it is. It's very curly hair.
Billy, tell everybody where they can find you. Give us all of it, bro.
Yep, I'll be back on Twitter. It would take no time to build that account back up. We just won't be engaging with Ryan Satin again. It's at DirtySheets.com. This time I've set it up as a company account. The company is not banned, so it shouldn't be a problem. My website is thedirtysheets.com, where you can get all of my wrestling stuff, and my betting stuff is over at lockbetting.com. At the moment, all of the soccer and everything is coming back. So yeah, it's a good time to get back. And my son is over at Austin's Toys, doing his stuff over on Instagram with all these figures, all this stuff that's always behind me is around about 10% of the junk that we have in this house. So.
Well, guys, there you have the great Billy Body, and we're going to have a lot more. I got a lot of questions, bro. You didn't even bring up, and we're going to touch upon this too, that CW2, bro. You know, people have been let go, and now people are starting to talk about Saudi and the plane situation and all that. You knew it was going to happen. Bro, I said that months ago. When all this shit was going down in Saudi Arabia, I said, guys, people are going to be released. And it may take a couple of months, but the stories are going to start surfacing, and we may see what really happened over there. So I'm sure we could hit upon that on Chicken Next.
And one more tease as well I want to give you. I had no idea that Vito was a part of this brand, and I have a really good Vito story from here in the UK.
Oh, awesome.
And I want to tell that over on Chicken Next because it's a good, puts him over in a good light. So it's not
that's awesome.
I'm not going to bury Vito. I didn't see him on air and think, I'm going to bury him.
I would have loved that. I would have loved that if you would have buried him. All right, anybody, that is the great Billy Body, bro. He's got a lot more. We're going to talk about a lot more things over on A Bucket Full of Chicken X, which we're going to record next. Guys, check that out. russosbrand.com. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.